Fox 59 News at 10. News that works for you.
Thunderstorms light up the night sky across central Indiana, bringing heavy rain to the Hoosier State. Those storms are expected to keep moving through Indiana over the next few hours. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cheryl Parker.
And I'm Bob Donaldson. Fox 59 Chief Meteorologist Brian Wilkes is tracking those storms in the Weather Center right now. Good evening, Brian.
Hi, Bob, and good evening, everyone. They have turned into April showers as they began to move into central Indiana from southern Indiana. They were pretty impressive, enough to prompt a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out over Bartholomew and Decatur County. But this storm system is wrapping up quickly and beginning to lift off to the northeast. You can see the heaviest activity is north and east now of the city, where you see these pockets of yellow. Some embedded thunder still occurring, but these are more pockets of heavier rainfall. In fact, you can see the break in the rain back to our southwest. So the actual storm system is set to move into southwestern Indiana, bringing the heaviest rains now off to the northeast. We'll continue to monitor this, but we are looking at now a tornado watch that has been canceled across southeastern Indiana, and the storm totals out of this storm system have been fairly light so far in the city. Areas to our west and southwest across the Illinois-Indiana border picking up about 1 to 2 inches of rain. But you see the break occurring now. The tornado watch has now been canceled over southeastern Indiana, but it is a massive storm system that has generated severe storms all the way into the deep south. In fact, we've had at least 10 reported tornadoes over the southeastern United States, over 137 storm reports total so far this evening. The showers and thunderstorms continue to scatter tonight. The winds are going to pick up as the winds shift. It's getting colder, and those showers early Friday will begin to diminish. A very windy and colder Friday coming. We've got another similar storm system coming in over the weekend, and then an even bigger punch of colder air to come in with some snow in the forecast too. Full details coming up in weather in a little while.
Okay, Brian, we'll see you then. A proposal to double the state's alcohol tax to bail out the struggling Indianapolis Sports Board clears a hurdle at the State House, but still has a long way to go before becoming law. Mayors and business leaders joined officials with the Colts and the Pacers at a hearing today to fund the Capital Improvements Board. It was the first public hearing on an amendment to legislation presented by Noblesville Senator Luke Kenley. Kenley proposes raising the state's alcohol tax to pay for a $43 million annual CIB budget shortfall. Some lawmakers want the Pacers and Colts to be part of the solution.
We come to this meeting today needing answers.
3 ounces of wine.
The amended bill passed out of a Senate committee today, but so far the CIB bailout proposal has gotten a cool response in the Indiana House of Representatives. Now, those who buy or sell alcohol remain unhappy with the new taxing plan, but Indiana cities, towns, and counties stand to benefit tremendously. Fox 59's Gene Cox has new information tonight on who could win and lose if legislation makes it to the governor's desk.
I spoke today with economic developers from across central Indiana, places like Plainfield, Carmel, and Greenwood. They all say they would, of course, welcome new money that would come in from an increase in the state alcohol tax. They say it could go to help pay for new infrastructure and possibly new jobs. Over the years on Main Street in Greenwood, construction has temporarily interrupted business in the name of economic development. If Republican Senator Luke Kenley's CIB bailout, alcohol, and ticket taxing plan were to pass, cities like Greenwood would get to share an estimated $42 million generated by a doubling of the state's alcohol tax. Check out just how much we're talking. Every year, Greenwood would get almost $500,000 to pay for making the community more attractive to new businesses that could bring in new jobs. Carmel's share of the new tax money, $718,000. Muncie, $705,000, and so on across the state.
I'm very cautious of putting anything in place to start a row of dominoes falling.
Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard expressed caution to a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing Thursday morning. That's because the plan to bail out the organization that runs the city's sports and convention buildings would, according to the State Restaurant Association, give Indianapolis the highest combined restaurant and hotel tax rate in the country.
Our revenue dollars are in fact down.
Senators heard from Indiana Pacers management and from Colts President Bill Polian. Neither team would commit to each paying the $5 million Senator Kenley's CIB bailout plan calls for.
We feel going forward that we're committed to engaging in a dialogue with you.
The plan that's contained in House Bill 1604 did pass that Senate committee today by a 10-2 vote. Senator Kenley says that it could take the rest of the month for it to make its way through the State House. We did talk today with Democratic House Speaker Pat Bauer. He seemed pretty cool to the idea, saying that the rest of the state should not have to bail out Indianapolis's problems. He did suggest there may be other ways to save the CIB. On the Northwest Side, Gene Cox, Fox 59 News at 10.
So if this proposal gets approved, the higher tax would add a penny to a cost of a 12-ounce beer, 2 cents to a glass of wine, as well as a shot of hard liquor, and about 25 cents to the price of a case of beer.
Hoosier advocates are applauding a bill moving forward in Washington tonight that would allow federal regulation of the tobacco industry. The House approved the measure to give the Food and Drug Administration the authority to regulate cigarettes and other tobacco products. The FDA will be able to publicize the ingredients of those products and stop marketing campaigns.
As marketing techniques employees are used to actually place addictions on children younger and younger age, and we're hoping that the legislation that's taking place will avert that and will put a complete end to this.
The proposed legislation would also increase taxes on tobacco products other than cigarettes. The Senate could take up its version of the bill later this month. The Monroe County man charged with shooting 2 people and stuffing their bodies into a steel drum is sentenced. 52-year-old Jerry Pelfrey was given 2 consecutive 65-year jail terms for the murders of Doug Brown and Everett Shaw. Police believe Pelfrey murdered the 2 during an argument over stolen goods. He then put the bodies into barrels on his junkyard property in Monroe County. The bodies were found in September of 2007.
A Henry County man is behind bars tonight, accused of biting another man's ear off. It happened during a fight yesterday in Newcastle. Fox 59's Heather McWilliams joins us with a story you'll only see on Fox 59. Heather?
Well, 31-year-old Jeffrey Guffey says he never thought trying to protect some neighborhood kids would permanently change his life and his looks forever. Jeffrey Guffey was riding his bike on North 20th Street, a 20-mile-an-hour school zone, when he stopped to talk to some neighborhood kids.
I turned around there to talk to them, and then here come this blue SUV come flying up on us, you know what I mean, then barely swerved to misses, you know, and I was like, hey, what are you doing?
The SUV slammed on its brakes and its driver came running out.
All I said was, hey, you need to slow down, there's kids here. Right. You know, you got kids in your own car.
But it was enough to cause 43-year-old Curtis Allen Cross to hit Guffey in the face and groin.
I was saying, stop, I'm done. I'm done. I am done.
But Cross wasn't done. This time, he went for Guffey's left ear.
And he bum rushed me and overpowered me and just, I mean, I could hear it crunching. And then he'd rip it out and spit it at me and then go again. And he tried 3 times. Like I said, I still got the teeth mark inside there.
Marty Wilkinson pulled up as it was happening.
It's just like he was spitting a watermelon seed. It's like he didn't even care that, you know, he had a human organ in his mouth. He just spit it.
Wilkinson immediately called police.
He seen me on the phone. I think that's why he left. I got his license plate number and give it to them, and he sped off.
The cops eventually caught up with Cross and arrested him, and Guffey was rushed to the hospital.
The ear was about right here.
Meantime, Wilkinson stood guard over the ear in hopes that it could be reattached.
Something like that doesn't happen every day of your life. You know, that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
As for Guffey, he's not only lost his hearing in his left side, but has already endured lots of heckling from friends.
What happened to you? Mike Tyson get a hold of you? You know, everywhere I go, Mike Tyson get a hold of you?
But all joking aside, Guffey's just happy that he and those kids are alive.
He could have killed 3 people very, very easily.
Cross is being held at the Henry County Jail on $3,200 bond. He faces battery charges that could keep him behind bars for 4 years. Meanwhile, doctors have determined that Guffey's ear cannot be reattached. He will have to undergo several surgeries and most likely have to get plastic surgery to get an ear back. Heather McWilliams, Fox 59 News at 10.
A Muncie woman is facing charges tonight after police say she attacked her ex-girlfriend with a pitchfork. Investigators say Julie Getz went to her apartment to get her belongings when the 2 started fighting. Officers say Getz grabbed a pitchfork from the back of her truck and stabbed the other woman in the arm. She was treated for a minor cut. Tonight, an Avon man faces jail time after a Muncie police officer says he pulled the man over for drunk driving and he offered a bribe. Police say Jeremiah Lowhorn tried to pay the officer $17 to let him go for driving the wrong way on Main Street Saturday night. The officer says when Lowhorn gave him his license, there was $17 folded up underneath it.
The family of a fallen World War II soldier finally gets to say goodbye.
I'm glad that we know what happened to him, and I'm glad that his remains will be in the United States.
New at 10:30 in a story you'll only see on Fox 59, an Indiana family left wondering about the fate of their loved one for more than 60 years.